When European explorers were sailing up and down the coast of America, a man named Giovanni de Verrazzano discovered an island and he went, "Wow, this reminds me of Rhodes back in Greece." And then he sailed away and didn't write down exactly where he was. A Dutch guy called Adrian Block was also exploring 100 years later and found an island and he went, "Wow, this island is so red, I'm gonna call it Red Island." Or as we say in Dutch, Rhode Island. And then he sailed away and didn't write down exactly where he was either. What a coincidence. Later on, there was this guy called Roger Williams, and he wasn't just some nobody. A few years earlier, he had lived in Massachusetts but was exiled by the Puritan leaders because he criticized their rule. So he went south and purchased a bunch of land from Native Americans and named it Providence because he believed it was God's providence that had led him there. While he was here, he noticed that there was an odd-shaped island off the coast of his Providence plantations and went to investigate. Williams helped settlers purchase the island and went to combine the two lands together. He learned the natives called it Aquidneck when he noticed that the island was possibly the ones talked about in the previous accounts by the explorers and said that it should be henceforth known as the Isle of Rhodes or Rhode Island. This probably suggests he believes in Giovanni's account that it looked like Rhodes but dropped the S for whatever reason. I mean, I can kind of see it, but also not. So he went off to England to get his new colony chartered, and they said, "Yes, you can have that." And they created the colony of Rhode Island and Providence plantations, which then became a state of the USA. However, Verrazzano describes an island like Rhodes being 10 leagues from the mainland, while Aquidneck Island is basically touching the mainland.
What a sigma!
The only island some distance away is Block Island, at about 10 miles. Hang on. Block Island? Like Adrian Block, the guy who named a red island. Yes, in fact, Verrazzano did not call the island Rhodes, he simply said it looked like Rhodes, and in fact he called it Louisa. For whatever reason, Block's fame stuck more, and the island is now called Block Island. However, Williams and his buddies decided to simply ignore this fact, or they weren't aware of it, because they were confident the Rhodes account was actually referring to Aquidneck. I mean, how? But anyway, it's possible they also found the Dutch account and opted to just combine the two because they felt it was too big of a coincidence to pass up. No one had ever used the term Rhodes to refer to this island. So the state was incorporated with its full name based off the fact that it had two parts, Rhode Island and Providence plantations. Plus all the other islands as well, but no one really cares about them too much. Although the Aquidneck Island was officially Rhode Island, many people referred to it by its native name and said Rhode Island to refer to the entire state, because no one wanted to say the full name every single time. Of course, the entire state is about 4,000 square kilometers, while the island is just 98 square kilometers, but we'll ignore that. So the state continued along with this name based off an island that no one called Rhode Island up until 2020. In that year, anti-racism was fashionable, and it was successfully argued that the word plantation was racist, and voters voted to just call the entire state State of Rhode Island. All well and good. However, this means the entire state is now named for an island not called Rhode Island and makes no reference to its mainland, while the actual Rhode Island is way off the coast and called Block Island. But the settlers just chose to call the land they had Rhode Island anyway because they were sure they had got it right. But could you imagine it being called anything else? Okay, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Go watch my other cartoons and subscribe. Thank you. See you. Bye.